Good morning, everybody. I will confine to the hardware of what is happening in this region for trade in electricity between India and the neighboring countries. Transnational trade in electricity in the context of Indian subcontinent means broadly cross-border trade with neighboring countries such as Nepal, Bhutan, Bangladesh, Pakistan, Sri Lanka, and Myanmar. But as Mr. Hilal Raja has mentioned, now it crosses the border a number of countries, and we can now have trade with countries which are not your neighboring countries. The region has a low per capita consumption of electricity, high GDP growth rate, and both energy and peak shortages. About a quarter of the world population only lives in this region, but 40% of the people without access to electricity reside in this region. And this region has very high potential for power generation from coal, hydro resources, and also gas, apart from the renewable energy sources. As we all know, India has good reserve of coal and some hydropower in the northeast, and also good wind and solar potential. Nepal and Bhutan have of electricity between the countries. But currently, the grid connectivity is very limited between these countries. There is some connectivity with Nepal and some with Bhutan. There is no connectivity with Bangladesh, which is likely to come very shortly, and Pakistan, and also no connectivity with Sri Lanka and Myanmar. With low per capita consumption of energy and persistent peak and energy shortages, India has great potential for augmenting power generation and having trade with the neighboring countries. Now we come to the India-Nepal situation. The cross-border trade with Nepal started in 1971. There are 12 existing interconnection on the border, and the trade is taking place primarily from Bihar, UP, and Uttarakhand in isolated local areas. And the grid connectivity is basically at 11 kV, 33 kV, and 132 kV level. Existing trade is only of the level of 100 megawatt, mainly happening in the local areas. It is both import and export. In some areas it is import, and in most of the area it is export to Nepal. There is also agreement for import of 150 megawatts by Nepal from India. In addition to this, at the Tanakpur hydropower station, about 70 million units of electricity is being exported to Nepal under the Mahakali Treaty. Additional transmission exchange capacity of 75 megawatt has also been installed, through which Bihar is exporting about 30 to 40 megawatts in addition to the 50 megawatts which is already being exported to Nepal. Nepal can import more power from India through these interconnections and through the transmission lines which are under development from the market through the licensed traders such as PTC and NVVNL. WAPCOS is also implementing a system for strengthening of the transmission line of the capacity of 132 megawatts. Another cross-border transmission line between India and Nepal is under implementation, which is called Muzaffarpur-Dhalkewar HVDC line, which will be initially operated at 220 kV level, and subsequently it will be upgraded to 400 kV level. There is a power sale agreement between National Electricity Authority of Nepal and PTC for supply of 150 megawatts, which will be supplied through various interconnections which is coming, including one which is being developed by ILNFS for exporting power from India to Nepal. Nepal will initially have a shortage of about 200 to 300 megawatt for the next 5 to 7 years, but subsequently when its potential is developed, I think Nepal will be in a position to export electricity to India. The Nepal has economically feasible potential of 42,000 megawatt of hydropower, and the government of Nepal has fixed a target of developing 10,000 megawatt by 2020, and it has a great potential for export to India using the same transmission line which is being developed to export power to Nepal. And in the long run, Nepal and India will both have the benefit of these projects. Additional transmission links are also required. Now I will rush through India and Bhutan. India is importing power from Bhutan, about 1,200 to 1,400 megawatt through trans-border transmission links. There are 3 transmission links which are used for importing this power, and there is a plan to develop 10,000 megawatt by 2020, out of which about 3,000 megawatt is already under development. There is a great future for Bhutan exporting power to India. Bhutan has a techno-economically feasible potential of 30,000 megawatt, out of which some projects like Punat Sangchu 1, Punat Sangchu 2, and Mangdech are under development already. After meeting the small domestic demand in Bhutan, the entire power can be exported to India. Coming to India and Bangladesh, I think Bangladesh details will be mentioned here. But there is a proposal to construct a 500 megawatt capacity, 400 kV HVDC line between India and Bangladesh, from Bahrampur in India to Bheramara in Bangladesh. And this line will be used to export 250 megawatt of power by NVVNL under a intergovernmental arrangement to Bangladesh, and another 250 megawatts will be imported by Bangladesh from the market, Indian market, for which the PTC and NVVNL, they are all competing. Coming to India and Sri Lanka, there is no interconnection, and there is a proposal to construct a 360 kilometer Madurai Anuradhapura link, 400 kV HVDC bipole grid interconnection. This includes a long distance of about 120 kilometer submarine cable, and its transmission capacity will be 1,000 megawatt, but it is still under negotiation and development stage. And India and Pakistan, again, there is no interconnection, but there is a potential. Discussions are going on with Pakistan for having a feasibility of cross-border grid connection to meet the shortage of power. Wherever is a shortage of power, the power can be exported from India to Pakistan, or when Pakistan becomes surplus, it can be imported by India from Pakistan. Now finally, the last, what needs to be done to promote this? A facilitating policy in all the neighboring countries will be required for cross-border electricity trade. Facilitating regulatory framework is also required, which should be, in synchronism with each other. There is a requirement to exempt. Currently, there is no import or export duty on electricity, so that policy should continue in all these neighboring countries. And transmission lines have to be developed through a synchronized grid, if possible. Otherwise, currently the bilateral arrangement is going on for trade of electricity. There is also potential for multilateral trade, SAARC interconnection, as was mentioned by Mr. Hilal Raja. Initially, the power exchange is taking place through the intergovernmental mode, but it can be expanded to a market mode, which is already started in case of Nepal, where PTC is exporting power, and also in case of Bangladesh, where Bangladesh will be purchasing 250 megawatt through the market mode. So there is a great potential, but it all depends on the political scenario in each country, the security situation in each country. And I think with the democratization of politics in all these countries in the region, there is a great hope for the trade in electricity between these countries. Thank you.